Hey, my man, I promise this is going to be the fastest video I've ever done. Try to get it done in 3 minutes or less. So let's go. AMD. I think you're good. So let me just start by saying this. I'm going to zoom way out. Okay. Each of these candles are monthlies. I want to zoom way the heck out. So this right here, what is that? That looks like the year 2000, give or take, 25 years ago. And right here, it looks like around 06. So the reason why I'm mentioning this is because we came up for a third time and we had a successful breakout. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because, see this multi-year neckline? Actually, it's multi-decades. So from the top of this, and this is really crude, but down to the lower point, these are measured moves. Meaning if I were to measure from up here down to here, that's going to be the potential move to the upside. So I'm going to give you a feel for what I'm talking about. So if we were just raising it right up there, okay, so we're going to leave that for a second. Let's do some fibs from this high back in 25 years ago, and we're going to anchor it right down to this. So actually, we can go down here. They're both the same. Got a double bottom. Swing it over. Yeah, look at that. That's so interesting. Check this out. Let's see. Remember this measured move right here? How ironic. There's your 1.618. And here's a great lesson for you on Fibonacci sequence. These 1.414s, these are notorious to get kicked in the teeth for rejection levels. And look what happened right there. But it does not mean that you're not done. And I'm going to zoom in here in a second. But we got price right now resting on this 1.272 from this rejection, but I still think, my man, you're going up here to the 1.618. I'll let you be the judge here in a second, but I really believe you're finally going to be on your way up to this $371.59, which, by the way, from where price is at now, that's about another 220 some percent. Let's break down this section right in here, okay? Let me clean up some housekeeping, but isn't that interesting on that measured move? Takes you right to the fib, the 1.618, the golden zone. So let's do this, get rid of the fibs again, because really what I want to focus on now is the bottom end. So I'm going to go from monthly candles, let's go down to 2 weeks. And I saw a few things that were interesting, and then we'll wrap it up. Okay, so we're on the 2-week candles, and I did that because we're going all the way back to This looks like mid-2018, so we can call this 7+ years ago. But this is the beginning of this trend line. And hey, by the way, when you think of trend lines, think of drawing them in crayons. So I've got a thicker trend line right here. But anyways, we've got a touch here. We have multiple touches here. And we had a nice one here in late 22. We had another close one in early 23, it looks like. But now, this could either be touching the trend line or it could be coming close. It's really subjective where we place this thing. If this is not the bottom, we're really close, at least when it comes to this trend line. By the way, to have a valid trend line, you need at least 3 touches, but we got 1 here, 2, 3, 4. So we got 4. It looks like, again, depending on where we anchor or put this trend line, this could be a touch already or it could be getting close, but watch this. So now let's do an anchored VWAP. I'm going to do it from this peak high right there. And this is what I wanted you to see, like this right there. So I anchored the anchored VWAP right at that high. When was that? Late or summer of 21. And then how ironic, we had a breakout. First of all, we had all these allergic reactions, right? We had a false breakout here. Then we had a nice breakout here, came back for a retest, and lo and behold, we're coming back here. This is going to be very interesting to see how price action reacts to this, but I like it. So now we've got double confluence between the anchored VWAP and this trend line. But now, last thing I want to show you, okay? Now let's anchor some fibs. And let me walk you through what I did. So I placed, and by the way, we're looking for retracement levels, like where's the bottom levels, not extension, like where's price going. But in this example, we're trying to find where price is going. So I anchored it right here. This looks to be summer of 22. And then up here was the pivot high. But if you notice, we've got price came right down here. It's coming down to the 0.5. So this is the midpoint. So just imagine if we were doing this. It took me a couple of years to figure this out when it came to the Fibonacci sequence. Let me just illustrate a point and we're almost done, okay? But Let me see right there. So let me explain what the 0.5 means. So again, anchored it right here. Again, we're looking for retracement levels. Just imagine this is like a rectangle. Here's the top of the rectangle. Here's the bottom of the rectangle. And then this purple line, this is the 0.5. And this is not actually a fib number. The rest of them are fib numbers. But this 0.5, basically what that means is this is the midpoint. This is dead center, the 50% level of the top of the rectangle. And this is the bottom of the rectangle. So this right here is the midpoint of this horizontal rectangle. I'm going to leave it right here. Let me just take a peek at these stochastics. Yeah, so the stochastics are nice. RSI's at the bottom. But if we take this sucker down to the weekly, just real quick. Yeah, so the weekly looks real nice. The MACD's bearish, which means it's weak. However, the histograms are getting smaller, so I love that. And then let's just, for kicks, take it down to the 3-day. Yeah, there's a lot of room to run on the MACD. We're trying to have a bullish crossover, but it's still well below the midline, which we're weak, but that's a good thing. So I'd rather you have bought at near the lows than the highs. Let me take a step way back out, and I'll wrap up the video for you. But I think, my man, again, we can't tell where everything is going in terms of price action. We just got to think in terms of probabilities, but I think you're okay. You may encounter some more weakness over the coming weeks, 2 weeks, I think max. But the thing that we need is we need price to respect this VWAP, which I think it's gonna. So we got triple confluence right now, right? The VWAP's number 1. This 0.5, right? There's confluence number 2. And then you got this, 7-year trend line. But I will tell you this. If price breaks below this trend line and call it like $108, give or take, I would abort. I would just pull the ripcord, get the heck out, and let's find another setup, okay? However, I think you're good in the hood. I know I sound retarded, but anyways, I hope that helps. So don't abort yet, my man, and I'll keep an eye on this one. I love you tons.